Hey everybody, welcome to the place where we are all artists. So I have some various brushes here, and I have the colors yellow, orange, red, black, and white. And I have a small canvas, it's black. I have my water and paper towels, and I'm going to turn the canvas on its side horizontally, and I'm going to start painting using this brush actually. So I'm going to use some yellow and start painting the background. So the background is going to be fire behind Ghostface, and it's going to be two layers, the first of yellow and then the second orange. And while I do that, I always want to give a shout out to the creators of the properties that I'm painting to or making art to. In this case, Kevin Williamson returning. And this franchise now in its 30th year, big movie. I remember huge, the first one when it came out, 1996. So now 30 years later, that one, of course, directed by the one and only Wes Craven. But Kevin Williamson actually did write that also, the first one, and now he's returning here. So now here I took some orange, like I mentioned, and I'm adding a second layer of paint right over the yellow. I want to make a fiery background. So I'm excited actually to paint to 1996 hits. I made a Independence Day 30th day anniversary video. I also have Twister from a video I made last year, and I'm looking to make Dragonheart as well. And now this is Scream, based on Scream 7 more so, but either way it connects to the original. Okay, so now I'm making a gray color. Okay, so the gray is a mixture of white and a little bit of black, and I threw in a little bit of yellow and also a little bit of orange. And this is to start painting the face, the elongated open mouth face. And it's actually quite easy, as you'll notice. So now with the brushes, don't worry too much about it. This brush is pretty small, and but whatever you may have on hand is fine. It'll have to do, right? Whatever you may have on hand, move slowly, take your time, and just follow along, make the lines I make, and it'll sort itself out. So I made the eyes, then it's this like little nose and the long mouth. So now I'm going to start painting inside of the mask. I'm just going to fill all of this with this same dark gray. It looks light right now, but the canvas will absorb it because it's a black canvas, and it will become much more dim than it appears right now. Yeah, once it dries, you'll see that it becomes dimmer. So while I have your attention, I want you to check out my playlist tutorials, because we have a growing list of horror film paint tutorials based on a lot of the best slasher movies of all time, like Halloween and the Friday the 13th series and Scream, of course. And check out everything else. We have Hard Eyes, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just check out the playlist tutorials. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I moved on to a smaller brush. It's smaller, and I'm going to use white by itself. White is nice and bright, and I'm going to use it to accent some of these areas that have more light hitting them. So I'm going to use it to add light to the mask. But I'm going to do this several times over. You'll see it later. When this dries, I'm going to have to do it again, because as I mentioned, it dries and it becomes absorbed into the canvas, and it becomes very dull after a little bit. So a little bit over here, and you could pretty much see it actually dulling right in front of us. As we speak, it becomes very hard to see after a little bit. So I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it more times. So I wash my brush, dry it really well, this little one that I just used. And I'm going to use black to to better outline or better form the eyes and the nose and the mouth with black paint. And while I do that, I want to just ask you to please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, give us a like if you like the video. And I also want to just give a shout out to all the people watching us from Indonesia, from Brazil, from the Philippines, from Mexico, from Colombia, from Puerto Rico, from Ireland, from England, everywhere, wherever you are. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. So I'm gonna actually add some damage to this mask, okay? So I'm gonna keep using black paint and I'm adding some damage to right here at the top. And again, this is based on Scream 7. This is actually based on one of the posters where you can see a lot of damage on the Ghostface mask. I'm also going to use this time to kind of perfect the painting a little bit, cutting off a little bit of this extra paint that was here. Like it was a little too wide, so I'm going to make it more streamlined, more narrow, more like it's supposed to be like in the film. So now I'm going to go back up a little bit in brush size. I'm not going to use a very, very little one. This one is a little bit bigger. And I'm going to go ahead and use some yellow and white. And I'm going to make a very, very bright yellow because I'm going to add flames to the background. I just want to make sure I stay within the lines, that I don't paint over its black hood. But because once again it's a black canvas, it does become, once it settles, it becomes duller, the colors. So you see how it's nice and bright right now? It actually won't stay like that. It will become much more dull. So I'm gonna add more layers. I'll add orange in a little bit, as you'll see. But for now, it's just this first layer of yellow mixed with a little bit of white. Okay, so I washed my brush and I dried it really well. Now I'm gonna use orange, and the reason I'm using orange is to make the light that is hitting his hood, right? It's hitting the outside layers, and the now here is almost like the top of the hood, right? There's light hitting it, and it reflects as orange. So I go around and I paint the hood orange, basically. I'm gonna add a little bit to the shoulders, right here, both sides. So now I'm gonna go back down again to my small brush. I wash it and dry it really, really well. Has to be very, very dry. And I'm gonna do the whole white light hitting the nose bridge and above the eyebrow, and a couple of other areas. I mean, because again, it became very hard to see. So now it's much more visible. And I'm gonna do it, I believe, one more time after this. Every time it dries, basically, it becomes more hard to see. So I do it every so often. So I'm going to start adding some up here where the damage is. And now what I'm going to do is paint this black space with a big brush. I'm going to just paint it black so that it's actually paint there, not just canvas showing through. So once I finish doing that, I'm going to put that big brush in the water and leave it there for now. And I'm going to go back down to, I guess, my medium-sized brush And I'm going to take orange. I'm going to dip my brush in water, add water to the orange paint so that it could be a very, very thin orange that I'm going to use. It's very thin. And I use it to add some orange light that is, it has to reflect on the mask, right? Because the environment is orange, is yellowish, and it has to reflect on the mask. So I'm adding it to some of the mask, mostly on the right side. So since I added so much orange to the face, like where is the orange reflecting from, right? Where is it coming from? So I'm adding it now to the background and to the flames. That's where the orange is reflecting from. That's why his face is all orange. So a couple of finishing touches. So once again, I'm gonna add the white light that is hitting him here and there. And because it's like a third layer, basically, it's much brighter now. And this is the final addition of this white light that I'm gonna add now. Okay, so one final touch. I did this to my Michael Myers painting. I did this to my Jason Voorhees painting. I add blood. So red paint with a small brush, and it has to kind of follow the shape of the face. You don't want it to just be straight down. You want it to kind of follow the curvatures of the mask. Put some in the mouth, put some in the nostril. He got beat up. He's been really through a lot. And you can't do what he does, right, without a lot of resistance. So it's showing on his face, on his mask. After this, the painting is ready. It's ready for you to decorate your room or gift it to somebody or just be proud of your hard work. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for painting with me if you did. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell.